Well, good morning, guys, and welcome to the show, Fernando.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Today is part 2 of the JVC KW Z1000AW. Stay tuned. In the previous video, we unboxed it, took all the parts out, kind of explained what they did. Today, we're going to attach all those parts together and power up the screen, which is going to be followed by the third video where we dig deep into all the settings. These radios are getting more and more complex, and well, it's hard to just do one video that encompasses everything. The first thing we need to take a look at is the brain box, because this is what everything attaches to. When working with this brain box, you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver. I would recommend a number 2 and a number 1. The thing I do first, because I always forget it in the end, is remove this screw here, which has the lock for the USB, as well as the HDMI that is not included in the box, but it is capable of using one. Grab the USB-C adapter. It plugs in towards the center of the radio. Push that into place until you hear the click. If you're not going to be using the HDMI, I recommend putting the lock back in place now, because it can be pretty tricky to do once in the car. Put the screw back into place. Next, located closest to the fan is the little gray plug here, which is for our GPS antenna. There's a clip located here on the top. It just snaps right in, and you hear a nice little click. Located next to that is our video. There's a screw hole located right here. And what that is for is when you plug this in, inside of your bag of screws, there is 3 black screws. 2 of them are for the radio, and 1 of them is to go into this location here. However, it's much easier to remove this screw located here on the top of the radio and use that instead. That kind of keeps this nice and clean and keeps it up towards the top. Located next to that, this black connector is for your 4-pin iData data connection. Plug that into place. It has a standard style antenna. Most cars you're going to be installing this in will need some form of an adapter, which will be included in the kit that you're going to get. Down below that is the port for your Sirius XM tuner. Next to that, the first headphone jack located closest to your Sirius XM is for your iData headphone jack looking 3-pin. This is not the steering wheel control cable. This has a 3-pin connector on the other end. This is going to be for sounds that come from the factory car. Not all installs are going to need this. It's in the instructions, but it is going to go here because located next to that, the next headphone jack is for the microphone. If you are going to be using the Mic 1, it comes with its own microphone adapter cable. That means you do not need to use the microphone that came with the unit. On its pigtail, it is going to say JVC KW Sony adapter. Plug that in instead. The blue end here will go off to your Mic 1. The big white connector here is for our RCA output plug. There's a clip on top that goes towards the top of the radio, and it'll make a nice click sound when you get it put in. And then lastly is the power plug, which is going to be the Ken 1. For the purpose of this demonstration, we'll not be using the Ken 1, but we'll be using the regular Kenwood harness that comes with the 1058, 1057. It's the same harness. This way we can power it up with our bench power supply, but the colors and connections are all the same. And that finishes up the back of the radio. One thing to note when installing this in the vehicle, there's different orientations for the brain, meaning it could mount in some cars like this and in some cars like this. When you set up the radio for the first time, it's going to ask you the orientation of the radio. If you do not set that up, then the radio will do strange and funny things. Mainly your pitch and roll will be off. Sometimes the GPS might be weird too. This is designed to be mounted in an Apex kit, and that kit is what's going to tell you which orientation the radio is going to go in. Some case in point, if you're working on a General Motors car where radio brain box is located in the passenger kick panel, it is going to be mounted in this style position. Whereas a Ford F-150, where the radio brain box is located in the dash, it is going to go in this position. Each instruction manual will tell you how the Apex kit will attach to this, so make sure you read that, download it, pay attention to it, put it on your laptop, whatever you need to do so as that you set it up the right way. The last 2 connectors are the gray and blue screen connectors, and as you can see here, it's a decent length, and they do sell an extension kit for some installations. For example, like that GM in the kick panel, you're going to need the extension. On the back of the screen, plug in your gray, plug in your blue. Located on the back of the radio are these little clips here that are designed to help run the wire through. This allows you to get the cable into place so that as you're moving it, it's just not flopping around in the back of it. The last step is, once it's mounted in the dash, is screwing it into the bracket here. This is going to slide in, and there's teeth here, these two teeth that stick out here, and they're going to slide into a groove that's located along this edge, and it just go to clickety click into that. And if you turn it on its side, you can match up to these screw holes. And that goes back to this bag here. Inside of this bag are 4 silver screws with the blue Loctite already on them. Figure out your height and where you want it, and then put your screws in on the left and right side. This cable will now come through here, and in the back panel it has this tooth right here. That tooth is designed to go into these grooves. Start at about halfway up, and now with it locked in, you can kind of move those cables around, and there we have it. Located in this same plastic bag are 2 small black screws, and those are designed to be put in here as well as here. And that completes the actual hardware assembly of this. You can power it up at this point. Now, none of these plastic pieces or metal brackets on the back need to go on to power it up. Language, clock, display buttons, camera, scroll down, demo, system configuration. This is where the orientation, vertical or horizontal, is located. Orientation out of the box is horizontal. If you need to mount it vertical, hop in and switch it there. 2 new things have been added to this screen. Built-in amplifier. If you're going to be doing a fully active system, meaning just using the RCAs, you can now turn off the amplifier built into the radio. If you'd like to use this as a tweeter mid subwoofer instead of front, rear, and sub, you can adjust network crossover. 2-way is front, rear, sub. Select confirm, select next, select 3-way, select yes, and give you a 3-way. As you can see, it's not something you're gonna do on accident. You gotta hit way too many buttons. Confirm, next, 2-way, yes. And then when you're all set with this, hit the back arrow. If you're gonna be doing multi-cams, meaning you have the 3 cameras plus the 4th, select camera, camera assignment. This is where you're gonna turn all those on. The video in, camera number 4. Tap that and you can use it for either a right, left, or front camera. Third view camera can be used as a right, left, or front view camera. And you can do mirror, so you can use a rear camera in the front. And front camera can also do mirror, and it can do right, left, or front as well. And then rear camera is already set up for rear. This grayed out piece here is front camera interruption on and off. This is an iData feature. As you're slowing down, it'll automatically pull up the front camera. Parking guidelines setup, you can go in and adjust these. In some cases, these are going to be dynamic lines because of iData. And then parking guidelines, if you just don't want them, you can turn them off here. Rear camera message. This is that, objects might be closer than they appear. You can have it on all the time, or you can have it go away after 5 seconds. And if you don't have rear camera at all, tap here and it'll shut the rear camera off altogether. Displays and buttons, you have button illumination, that's these. Right now it's on variable. View angle. Even though this screen will tilt, you can do a view angle, which will give you a little bit different. As you can see from the video, it's changing some features inside of it to make it easier to see. And also Maestro setup. This will be all where all the Maestro interfacing for your car is. And vehicle features. These will be all the features that were in the factory radio. You get to keep them. They're right here. And of course, turn the demo off. When you're all done with the setup page, hit finish. Automatically remove this message after 10 seconds. Hit agree. And this will take you into the radio, which is where we're gonna end this one. That's it for today. Fernando.
On to the next one, guys.
You guys have a great night as always. We hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you later next time.
Bye.
Bye.